Hi guys, welcome back to a YouTube video. It's been a while after my first video which came out in October. I just never got around to making the second one, so I figured today I have the time and I absolutely just should. So these are a few more things that you need to know before you come up with your own diet plan or workout plan thing. Just a few more things that you need to know, because I wholeheartedly believe that if you just understand the science behind what it is that you're doing, the whole process just becomes a lot easier. And a lot easier to stick to. Today we're going to be diving deeper into what exactly your energy expenditure is and how you can create a deficit or a surplus. Now I'm also going to be showing you step by step by calculating my own, so you really understand. So please stay tuned for the screen grab that's coming. So let's talk about TDE, your total daily energy expenditure. Okay, now everything I talk about is the way I've understood it. There may be mistakes, but this is how I've understood it. This is what's worked for me. So your total daily energy expenditure, as the name suggests, is everywhere you're spending your energy. These are primarily three things. One is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. It is just the amount of calories that are required to keep you alive. Breathing, blood circulation, all of this also requires a certain amount of calories to be burnt by the body to make sure these processes are happening. Okay, so that is your BMR. This is dependent on a variety of factors like your age, your gender, your height, weight, and the amount of lean mass you have in your body. Not too much that you can control here. It's more or less about having more muscle, I guess. The primary things that you can control are two things. In terms of activities, one, exercise, the obvious one, the amount of calories you burn while you exercise, and two is your MEAT, which is just non-exercise activity thermogenesis, I think, not very sure, but that's basically all the other activities that you do, just movement in the day, while you're walking, while you're climbing up the stairs, while you're lifting something heavy, which is not exercise but just movement, and that's why people usually ask you to take the stairs more and walk as much as you can and everything, because that's all cumulatively adding to the movement that you have in the day, which is not exercise. Now the last one is the thermic effect of food. Now even the food you eat, say for instance you have a very fiber rich or a protein rich diet. Okay, fiber and protein are sort of difficult to digest. Now the difficult to digest meaning the body just requires more energy to break these down. So when you do have a diet that is fiber and protein rich, more calories are burnt there. Okay, that's literally it. So these are the 3 to 4 things that make up your TDEE. Now 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. Now why do people usually ask you to create a 500 calorie deficit each day? Now for instance, if your TDEE is 2,000 and you've been eating 1,500 calories every day for a week, you will notice that you might have lost about 1 pound of fat. That's half a kilo. Now why is this happening? Because like I explained in my last video, because you've created that deficit, your body doesn't know where to turn to get that energy, so then it starts targeting fat. Now 500 calories, because 3,500 is how much is required to burn, to burn like half a pound of fat. So that's why. Now a lot of people say you have to have a deficit of 500 every day. It doesn't work like that. It is actually the average over a whole week. So even if it's you're fasting 2 days and creating a 1,000 calorie deficit and then just doing 1,500 for the rest of the days also, you will get results. But that's not really a healthy way to go. I'd say you should never be depriving your body of food. So that's why ideally you shouldn't be doing such extreme things. 500 calories is relatively quite easy to stick to. You just need to make sure you have a lot of fibers in your diet or protein in your diet to feel satiated. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to calculate my TDEE. Okay, now this is going to be a screen grab so you really understand. Okay guys, we're going to be calculating my TDEE now, and it's my total daily energy expenditure, as you can see. So I'm going to open this first link. I've already opened it here. There are hundreds of tools available. I prefer one that also has body fat because I just like to believe that it has more accurate results. So your first step, in case you don't know your body fat percent, is to go to a gym which does have the service. Most gyms come with a body analysis machine now, which will give you an understanding of how much muscle mass you have in your body, how much fat you're holding. Okay, so this will be really good as a starting point. So I say get it checked. So yeah, this is the first link, the TDEecalculator.net. Now I am female, I am 22, my weight's 50. Okay, yeah, I did do this recently. Say 157. Now I exercise between 3 to 5 days a week, not more than that at the moment. Now my body fat, unfortunately I'm not exactly sure about my body fat. The last I got it checked around October or November, I think, was 25%. Now after that I have cut fat, but I'm then again not very sure how much it is. So just for the sake of it, I'm going to put 24. Okay, I have already calculated. So 1846 is my maintenance. If I need to cut fat, I will cut about 500 to 400 calories from this. So it will become around 1400, 1300, between that, and that I can very easily attain half a kilo of fat loss each week. Similarly, you should probably calculate yours like this and just deduct anywhere between 300 to 500 to reach a deficit, add 300 to 500 to reach a surplus. Now if I am looking for muscle gain, which I'm going to be doing in a while, I am going to be increasing about 500 calories to this and start eating about 2200 to 2300 calories. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, do you need to create a 500 calorie deficit each time? No, that's just, I'm giving you an example for burning half a kilo of fat every week. You can also do anywhere from 250, 300, 400. It's just about creating a deficit and, honestly, like what works best for you, because you should be able to stick to it. And another thing is, I think a lot of people actually have a very low maintenance calories to start off as such. So in that case, personally what I did was, because my maintenance calories even when I started was quite low, it was around 1400 or something, which is not a healthy number at all, and I can't cut 500 there because that would be, I don't ever want to subject my body to lesser than 1200 because I just think it's unhealthy. When I did do that to myself, I saw that I was having a lot of skin problems. It wasn't looking healthy, that the glow was gone, and I was having hair loss and all kinds of problems. So I know that for me, like, I need to have at least 1200. I do not go lesser than that. I just try to increase my cardio and my output to create that deficit. That is also something you can do, and that is why when you're starting to lose weight or something, you try to include a lot of cardio, but at the same time, when you're trying to gain weight or you're going into a surplus where you're eating more, you do minimum to no cardio, because you're just going to be about building muscle and just gaining that weight, right? So having a massive energy output then does not make sense. So back then, when my calories used to be much lesser, yeah, I only reduced about 200, 300 calories then, but I exercised like crazy. Like, I used to spend an hour and a half in the gym, but out of this, like, I used to dedicate 30 minutes to like the treadmill. I used to do an incline walk. Once in a while I would do these sprints and basically just things that get my heartbeat up. These burn more calories. A lot of people talk about HIIT. If you're able to do it, because I find doing burpees and everything very hard, but if you're able to do it, nothing like it. It's a great tool for fat burning. So cardio can be used as a tool then to increase your output, so you don't have to restrict yourself so much diet wise. It's all about being really mindful and seeing what works for you. For some people, dieting may be easier. For some people, it may be easier to exercise, not so much on the diet perspective. But honestly, like I would say, in order to just be a healthy individual, okay, you should just be eating good, healthy, nourishing food. Ensure that there's lots of vegetables in your diet. You know, you're drinking a lot of water, keeping yourself hydrated, you're having enough protein. You're at least trying to meet your macros, your protein requirement, because most Indians are protein deficient. We don't have the amount of protein we should be having, which is between 0.8 per pound to like maybe even 2 grams of protein per pound, which is a crazy number, because if I am say 100 pounds, I should be at least having around 100 grams protein. It's not an easy number to achieve. Yes, it can be done through diet, but that's also why some people sometimes take weight. But right now I'm just completely going off topic. So in the next video, I'm going to be discussing how to calculate macros like we did for TDE today, and you know, actually come up with a diet plan for myself, which you can replicate. Now you cannot follow the diet that I am following, because well, our stats are going to be completely different, our requirements are completely different, how we work out is completely different, our lifestyles are completely different, the food we eat are completely different, you know. So I'm just going to show you the method and create one for myself, and you will be able to do it too. Now I'm doing this in these videos and everything because, you know, while I was trying to lose weight, very honestly, I didn't have the money to pay for personal training or, you know, actually buy a plan. So I made use of the resources I have. I started reading a lot more. I started following these athletes, these coaches, and, you know, I started getting tips from my own athlete and coach friends, and, you know, I just sort of learned it. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't get a coach. If you can afford it, please get it. It's a lifesaver. You know, they make your life easier. They give you the plan. They tell you what to do. They motivate you. It's amazing. But if you can't afford one, these are the things you can do. So in our next video, we're going to be talking about, you know, calculating your macros, what macros are, and we're going to come up with a diet plan for ourselves. So stay tuned.